On this screen, we're looking to define the workflow. This is a set of precise instructions that you want us to process on your data. You get to this screen by choosing one of the templates on the screen previous to this, and if you've chosen a template with lots of detail in it, then you'd see lots more on here. I've just chosen a blank one to start from a blank starting place so that we can build it up. We can see we start with the input file, the file that you've provided. From here we might want to add some services. A typical example might be that we want to do some path cleansing. We maybe want to do some deceased profiling, deceased flagging, and some gone away flagging. And you can see as I've added them, they've added them in a left to right process here. The left to right is important because it is possible that you don't want to do them this way. If we also perhaps wanted to do some TPSing of the telephone numbers in our file, we could put the TPS on, and we can drag that on as well as hitting add. So I could add that into the area that we've put here at the end of the file. But maybe we didn't want to do that. What we've got coming out of all these services is green, or we've got plus icons here, and this shows us where we can drag things around if we want to change the order of these things. So it might be necessary, for example, that what we want to do for TPS is to do TPS on all of the records, because we're going to try and call them all, in which case it happens after the input file. So we can drag that down to there. What we've now got is an input file. All records are going to be path cleansed. All records are going to be deceased flagged. Only records which are not deceased then go on to gone away. And then in terms of the telephone number, we're going to TPS check every record. That's what we built here. We could build something a bit more complicated because we've got green arrows coming off the deceased flagging, but we've also got red here, and that's the opposite. That's drop a service here to process records identified as deceased. So maybe we only want to do TPS on the telephone numbers where the customer is gone away. So in that particular case, we might have a chance of calling them on their mobile and finding them and updating our details. We're only going to call records if they're not, if they are gone away. So we can build complicated workflows here that do exactly what we want to do. The other important thing to talk about here is each of these services has got settings that we will want to change. We need to use this cog icon here, and by clicking on that we can now change these, and we can say that we only want 5 address lines, for example, and we don't want the county to be output. In deceased, we might want to choose the fact that we want forename level matching, not surname level matching, not forename level matching, and maybe we want to output the date of death. And then for gonaways, we want to output the data sources and remove some of the data sources that we don't like, and we want to do it forename level. So we can see that we have built a workflow here that is very specific to our needs. We could at this point now save this as a template using the save template icon here, and that will allow us to see that in the future as a template that we can reuse with exactly these settings, these services in this order with all of those settings. Next thing to do once we're happy that our workflow is doing exactly what we want to do is hit continue to go to the last page.